Hello, my name is Sasha Buzio, and welcome to my channel Log Into Yourself. Today, I have a very interesting topic. I want to talk about AI. I want to talk about ChatGPT and other AI technologies. And I don't want to talk about what they can do and how well they're programmed and how well they can imitate the human brain, not the mind. I want to talk about what do they do to our humanness and how much power are we trying to give away to those AI machine learning protocols or systems. And again, my channel is called Log Into Yourself. So it's about the effects of digital devices, of information technology, and now, of course, we have to say about AI on our humanness. Like, what does it do to our being human? Are we becoming hybrids? Are we becoming more machine-like? And how can we preserve our humanness? And what does it mean to be human and being a spiritual, creative being? So that's what my channel is about. How can I stay logged in to myself? And by logging in to myself, I mean, how can I stay connected to my heart, to my mind, to my body, and be the creator of my reality and not have some technology and information technology take over the creation of my reality and my belief system. So, yes, most of you probably have heard about the rise of the Chat GPT bot, and it's horrible to spell out. I don't know why they came up with that name. And while I'm a digital business consultant, I'm not an AI expert, although I've worked for one of the first startups in 2001 in Germany that was working on artificial intelligence. We had some fun projects, but it was very rudimentary, and I never really fully continued working in the AI technology world. And I don't want to go into like how it's programmed and what it's doing in terms of like programming language and all of that. I want to really take a look at it from a more human aspect and what it does to us as humans and how it actually changes our mind and how it changes our interaction with each other. I think that's a really that's a more interesting aspect of all of this. So yeah, if you're familiar with it, you've seen it. Many people are talking about it. What this AI technology can do now these days, it can write articles for you. It can improve your code. It can improve your trading system. It can solve like I think the entry exam or like even the final exam for medical school, and it can do many different things. So, and I think that's fascinating, and I think I give credit to the people that developed it. I think it's amazing what it can do, but what's the danger of it? And I think the danger that I see coming from this login to yourself perspective is that we as humans tend to give our mind power, our creativity away to this machine, and we're becoming more like machine minded. And while this chat GPT can probably do a lot of fantastic things, I think it really lacks in create any novel thought, in creating any novel creative, or create something like be creative or come up with something new. This is what we're human beings so well uh, not trained, but we are able to be really creative and innovative and novel, and this is what humanity is about. And it's not about regurgitating all the information that's on the internet and creating articles that have been written before, and the machine can do it. Yes, that's great, but the danger part is really that we give away our own humanness, our human power, our our ability to create something to the machine. And I think that's a really big discussion. And I hope I can have some experts on my channel in the future to discuss that. But I think people expect this AI to be sentient and to be somatic, but it's not, because it's not a living organism. And I don't follow up on the latest discussions on singularity and what's going on there, but there is definitely a tendency of this hybrid human being that basically has the mind of a computer and is still kind of a human. I don't know how that would work, but in my opinion, it is not possible that the AI can become sentient. But of course, I'd love to discuss that with some other people. But and we don't even have to go there today. But what I really like to really bring to your attention is like, why are we giving this power away? Is it because out of convenience? And I'm currently writing a book, and in the book, I really have a chapter that talks about the invention of the computer and why was it invented. It was invented to make human on maybe navigations like with the ship easier and calculations easier. So basically mathematical things that the brain is not perfectly prone to do or well to make that easier and better. And what it has become today is like, because the computer has become so fast and powerful that it can simulate a lot of brain functionality. But what we all forgetting, this is all left brain thinking. This is all zeros and one. This is all duality. But the human mind is so much bigger. It's like beyond duality. It's beyond zeros and ones. It's beyond against and for. And as you can see, if you take a look on social media, we constantly live in this digital world where we have to take a stance for or against. And it goes back, this is the same thing. This is the machine mind thinking. It's really something that most people are not aware of, but I've become more aware over the last couple of years. And as we engage more with our digital devices and the online information that's out there, the more our mind becomes like a machine mind. A machine mind is a mind that thinks in zeros and ones, that has to take a stance between right and wrong, black and white. And if you can take a look at the current events in our community, in our culture, and in the world, it's all about for or against. Where's the nuance? It's not always a winner and a loser. There's so much more nuance in between those two extremes, and between the duality and that's where real life happens. And I think we're really getting lost because the computer is in training ourselves into that machine mind thinking. And I think a lot of people who work on computer technology are not aware of what they're doing by really creating technology that wants humans to be like computers, but we're not. We forget that we're not computers, okay? And we should never be computers because we're spiritual beings. We have the ability to go beyond ourselves, to be compassionate and see the whole world as one, and experience something completely different. And so, with the rise of this entire artificial intelligence, there's another huge level that has a much bigger impact on our mind, because before it was more like static information that we engaged with that changed the way we were thinking. And yes, that's fine. And we, engaged with that information many, many times a day. And yes, we have to process that, and that's difficult. But now with AI, we basically are confronted with a technology that tries to imitate a human being and tries to imitate things that normally a human being can do. And that's a completely different ballgame now. Okay, so what is difficult these days what will be difficult in the near future and already today will be for people to understand what kind of content and information was created by an artificial intelligence and was created by a human being. That's why Google is already thinking about implementing something like watermarking AI generated content, so people understand this was created by AI. And even if they will do that, I think there will always be abuse, and it will be much more difficult for us to understand what is created by a computer and what is created by a human being. And what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is that we are exposing ourselves by engaging with those technologies to even more manipulation. That's the problem in the first place. So why I'm promoting log into yourself and disconnecting from technology in a very profound and aware way is because we are feeding our mind with so much unuseful, I don't want to say a bad word, unuseful information every day. And we have to process that information and create that waste, and using this waste energy to process 90% of unuseful information. So by disconnecting and really logging into yourself, by connecting to your heart, by really doing certain methods and practices that enable you to really connect with your body, connect with your mind, connect with your heart, and feel what you feel inside, find answers to your questions, to your life questions, to your life problems inside, you will have so much more power than by doing the opposite and trying to find your solutions to your life online, which most people do. They spend most of their days online. And again, now with the AI technology that's coming out, they will not be able to distinguish if this was created by a real human being or if this was just created by an AI to keep you engaged, to tell you a story, to create a reality for you that is not yours. So, what is the approach? The approach is to become aware of that. The approach is to really become aware that this is going to happen and be cautious and try to develop awareness around your device behavior and usage. And that's step number one. In the future, I will give you some practices. I will share some practices that you can do on a daily basis to really keep that connection, to keep those um, energy lines to your heart open continuously, because if you spend 5 6 hours a day on a device, you lose the connection to your heart, you lose the connection to your feeling, you lose your discriminating wisdom, you lose the ability to notice differences and changes in your body and in your mind. You open the doors to let negative energies, negative feelings, negativity from all over come in and disturb you and make you sick and make you unhappy. So it's really, really important to understand that this is not something that you should take lightly. And you could say, you know, what is this guy talking about? This is what everybody's doing. That's fine. If that's how you see it, perfect. But be aware that someone is telling you a story out there and you are losing the ability to really make your own decisions, to create your own reality. So this is, I think, a really important topic. And what can you do today? I really want to go into further depth about this whole AI technology, because I think it's really, really important for people to understand that. What can you do today is just to become aware. I mean, listen to a couple of my first videos where I talk about the awareness. Are you always on? Awareness is the key. Become aware how often you really engage with your devices, number one. Number two is like, what kind of content are you consuming? And create just a little back door, or like a little, a little watchdog in the back. That was just my dog shaking. That says, was this content created by a machine, or was this content created by a human? If it was created by a human, what's the intention? What is this content telling me? Is this really what I believe? Question yourself. Question what information. Question the information that you engage with. Question that and see what happens. Make a self experiment. Don't let don't just be carried away by the information that you listen to or you read or you see, and all the photos and things, that the reality that is out there in social media that tries to create your reality. Just become aware. Awareness is the key to change. So yes, ChatGPT and the rise of AI. So go online, go to ChatGPT, go to the website and try it out, and try let that AI do things for you and see how that feels, because your brain will tell you, wow, this is real, this is amazing, and you will have the tendency I had, to let this AI do some work for you. And I think that's fine in a very controlled manner. But I think in the pretty near future, we will not be able to control it anymore, and we will be exposed to that. And the difficulty will be to discriminate what was created by AI and what was not created by AI, and what the AI can do, how powerful they can take over the world's narrative, and any narrative, what product you should buy, and what kind of vacation you should go on to. And this is a light topics, but not what political beliefs you should have and whatnot. I don't want to go into details, but it has a lot of power. And what I recommend is to become aware of that power. And with that in mind, that should be it for today. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a wonderful day and be well.